Welcome back, guys. It's Colin with the Sun Pirates TCG, joined today by Mohammed. Yeah, and we have a very impromptu video of us just discussing our first thoughts on this new ban list that just came out.
Ban list discussion.
Ban list.
Ban
Woo!
list. We've been waiting for
Okay.
a minute for this. I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just go down the list, shall we? This is going to be effective for us August 30th. This is actually on the English website as I'm reading this. And starting off, we have this thing called a choice restriction. I guess they called it ban pair. So, blue purple Luffy can no longer be played with either the 8-drop purple Katakuri nor the OP8 9-drop Charlotte Linlin.
Yes. So specifically, you'll see on the ban list, none of these 3 cards in specific are banned. But like Colin said, you cannot put Luffy in the same deck as 9-cost Mom and 8-cost Katakuri. You can still include 8-cost Katakuri and 9-cost Mom and mono purple Katakuri or yellow purple Pudding, just specifically not in blue purple Luffy, which is something I've talked about before with the other card, a card I want off the ban list, good old red purple Law Leader and Black Maria. We were calling it a choice restriction. Bandai has opted to call it a banned pair in this game. Yeah, it's very interesting. It is a little harsh. I think if they just hit 9 Mom, it would have achieved a similar goal. Blue Purple Luffy would have seen a decline. It would have still been viable, but it would have seen a decline. But now I don't know if it's viable still. I've seen people have talked about playing like the Dofi build, like using Dofi to put in Rosinante, but
I think that's reasonable. Is the deck dead? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think the leader's dead by any means. It's definitely not as survivable as it was before.
So it has the benefit of, as purple and blue cards get made, it will continue to get better.
Yeah.
Currently, I think it is going to fall out of favor. However, a large majority of what made up that deck is block 2 cards, not necessarily block 1 cards. So it's a deck that I could see improving before it rotates, or before a vast majority of its cards rotate. It's going to be very interesting to see. We do know that there's the promo Roger, the 8-cost Roger coming out. We don't know when it's coming out in English. We know it's coming out in Japan later, and there is the potential for you to go 9 Sanji, flip this Roger, become an 8k base leader, leave up Giant, which seems strong, and then you develop a 9k body and a 10k body. So we'll just have to see what happens.
Also out of OP13, there's the 8-drop Rayleigh. That seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, the 8-drop Rayleigh is now a very solid, like, 9 Dawn play if you don't have Katakuri or 9 Mom, since you can just attach a Dawn Cheerleader, swing 7-9, and also leave, because Rayleigh gives you the Dawn as active, leave up the Dawn for Giant. Notably, Rayleigh does get worse with Sanji, like with your Sanji turn, since then you are fully out of Dawn, since you need an attached Dawn for Rayleigh to work. I mean, you could just use it to develop a second 9k body, but yeah, it's very nice to see them experimenting with these choice restrictions, just because it allows more leaders to stay in the format. I don't always like banning leaders, only when they're like heavily problematic, which I don't think Blue Purple Luffy was on the level of some of the other leaders that were banned, but I could have seen it being banned.
Yeah, I will say with Snake Man Luffy, I think another reason for them not wanting to just outright ban the leader as well is because technically for us, the leader is so new. Like, I know it feels like, for me personally, it feels like it's been a million years since the card has been out, but like, it is technically from our most recent set as we're recording this, right before OP12 is coming out. So I could see them not wanting to like outright ban the deck if, you know, just to like not disenfranchise people that have just bought the cards and built it within the past few months. It is a pretty quick turnaround time if you think about it, as if it were to be banned, right?
Yeah, I mean, they do also have like these little notes at the bottom which they emphasize that it's like pretty much what was said about the leader before. It's supposed to be vulnerable to like aggression in the early and mid game because it has such a strong late game. That's why it's supposed to like only ever have 3 health, but like these these cards act as though you have way more than 3 health,
Yeah.
which end up being a problem in the leader, not necessarily the leader on its own.
Yeah.
But enough
I mean,
about Blue Purple Luffy. We've got some surprises.
Yeah. I mean, I will say one last thing about Blue Purple Luffy is that ultimately where we think it's in the meta, my gut feeling is that it's still going to be a good deck. But definitely like a lot of the kind of mid-rangey decks can probably put up a much, well, not probably, but should be able to put up a much better fighting chance against it now.
I'm giving it a demotion, tier 3 from my end.
Tier 3, you think it's gonna be that bad?
I think until it's figured out, it's tier 3. I think there might be legs to the Dofi build. I just think you're so vulnerable now that you can't get life back, dude. Like, Rayleigh kind of runs you over, not being able to like deal with like the bodies.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to see, because I'm optimistic for it just because I think it's just inherently such a powerful leader effect, right? So
yeah,
we'll just see.
Moving on to the next ban card, a little expected after the cards that were revealed, not very expected until a few weeks ago. OP03040 Nami leader is
Blue
banned.
Nami.
Mono Blue Nami, I know, but after they revealed the upcoming OP13 Otama, it's not a surprise that this leader is getting banned. This leader definitely abused some of the more powerful draw effects in the game. When you just play like 4 blanks in your deck for the off chance of it being in your life, it's like, okay, man, like.
Yeah, I think especially with the Otama coming out in OP13, I get it's like a relatively short turnaround time because of, where rotation would be in that timeline, but even still, it's like
even for us, it'd still be like 6 months since it comes out.
Give or take.
OP13 is releasing early November from what we can see on distributor sites, and rotation isn't scheduled until I believe April 1st is the last thing they confirmed.
Right. So I mean,
it's like
playing with 4 Kayas and 4 Otamas in that deck would be a little bit disgusting, to say the least.
Notably, they did announce a promo version of Nami that will be released at future events. And unlike most promo leaders for band leaders, this one isn't actually fully unplayable. The card reads, according to the rules, you may only play cards with East Blue type in your deck. Also, when your deck has 0 cards in it, you win the game instead of losing. And Dawn X1, when this layer's attack deals damage to your opponent, you may trash the top card of your deck.
So the only difference is you can only play East Blue cards now in the new Nami.
Very notably, it just says you have to play East Blue cards. Otherwise, it is an exact carbon copy of Nami, which is kind of what it was intended when Nami was made in OP03. You're supposed to play Sanji's Pilaf. It's not a Straw Hat card. It's an East Blue card. You weren't supposed to be playing Nami with Kabaji and like overheats and like looping this. But yeah, it's like a very interesting take. Like making it lock to East Blue is very nice. It still lets people like try to experiment with this deck out style and play more of the way the deck was intended. Like play your Usops, play your Zephyrs, mill yourself, not fail to interact with your opponent for like 9 turns, 10 turns.
I'm interested to see what people can cook if people try to with this, now that you only have East Blue as a deck building restriction. I mean, obviously you still have a lot of your good cards like Pilaf, like we said, Kaya. I think Gum Giant Gavel is also East Blue typing.
Yes, Gavel is East Blue. You also still have Usopp's Rubber Band.
Like everything out of OP3 that was released with the leader should be playable, I believe. Notably, you cannot play All Stars.
Blue Searcher.
That's true. Notably, you do not have Impel Down All Stars as a draw 2 trigger. You do not have Desert Spada as a draw 2 discard 1 trigger. So
yeah, I mean, losing All Stars, honestly, that was like the most egregious part of the deck in my eyes. It's like you're playing this card that's just absolutely dead if you draw it, but like if it's in your life, you've just like run away with the game. It's like, come on, man.
It's the worst feeling card as the opponent. That's for sure. It's like you're playing this brick in your deck, but it's like you randomly hit it out of your life, you draw 2 cards for no reason. You're like, okay, great. But yeah, like, we'll see. Like I said, I'm interested to see what the Nami community would cook with the new promo leader if they try to. I don't think the strategy is completely dead. I could be wrong. I again, we literally just started recording this like right after the after the announcement. So this is all first impressions. We're all half asleep still.
Said first impressions matter. Let's get it on camera.
Yeah.
Moving on from Nami, because neither of us are Nami players, we can't really speak to it. But Colin's dressed up today because there are some unbans.
I couldn't find my damn red jacket for this, but yeah. Sakazuki's banned, so
what? He's unbanned.
Or unbanned. Yeah, Sakazuki's unbanned. So
the summoning circle worked. One of my 2 cards came back.
Somehow. Oh gosh, where did I put my leaders? Oh well, I
have one right here. Let me grab it.
Do I have it right here? Oh, I found him.
Teehee.
I have like 2 right here. I'm rich.
Yeah, Sakazuki's leader is officially unbanned. They think that he no longer, in his current state, oppresses the diversity of the leaders being played in the format, so they have opted to unban him. The leader is still very powerful. I, for one, think he's going to take a spot in the meta. I don't know what Colin's thoughts are. I know Colin loves the deck, though, so he's going to play it regardless.
Okay, so, I mean, I've been already flamed a lot for my takes on Gundam on this channel, but I'm going to have the opposite take as you for Blue Purple Luffy. I think Sokka's not going to be that good.
Nah, me and my boy C are going to cook something up.
All right, I'm excited to... No, don't get me wrong. I am extremely excited to cook with Sakazuki. Will I play him? Absolutely. But I do think there are quite a few key factors that are different now than when Sakazuki was amazing before, right? Moria's still banned. Ice Age is still banned. And Great Eruption is still banned, right? Now, obviously, we have some new tools for Sakazuki too that have been printed since he was banned. Like, off the top of my head, I'm just thinking, right? Like, 7-drop Sengoku could be a reasonable card to play in that archetype.
Jack,
Tempest sure.
Kick.
Tempest Kick. Even funny enough, even like 7-drop Blackbeard could be a deck you could play as well, or it could be a card you could play as well over Jack, just because, you know, it replaces itself when it dies.
I think if the removal is switching to the Sakazuki style of bottom deck removal because of Hound Blaze, I think it's better to have the loot effect of Jack, personally.
Maybe. You could be right on that. I don't know. We'll see.
I just think when Lucci can be a deck that does perform, there's like nothing to stop Sokka from doing the same thing.
I will say it should be fairly reasonable to get 10 in trash, so you could probably play Tempest Kick reasonably. Like, if Blackbeard can get that many cards in trash pretty handily, I don't see why Sokka couldn't, since you're playing with brand news and possibly even the 1-drop Black Sengoku to discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards, so there's definitely something to be said there. Again, I am very hopeful Sakazuki will be good and meta, but I also would not be surprised if he just falls a little bit behind, just because every other color now has kind of caught up since then. I think Green Zoro is probably still fairly strong. I don't know how that matchup would go exactly, but I would imagine
it'd be an interesting one. So notably, they can do what Teach was doing, where they main deck Black Vortex as an answer to the Zoro leader.
That is true.
Since now we don't have Moria, we can't just like make these 10 Dawn plays like we used to.
Yeah, I'm just scared of being a 4 health leader and them going 3 Dawn, swing past my Rebecca every time. That's the big thing I'm a little bit worried about, but and I could gush for hours and hours on like where I think Sokka could land, but it's tough to say. I'm very excited. I'm not gonna freak out and say he's gonna be top tier or anything yet, just because, like, again, I still think the other colors have tools to beat him before, and like a lot of his strongest tools, like I said, have been banned since. So
tier 2 at worst.
probably tier 2 at worst. I'm just trying to think of like what Sokka can do compared to like what Lucci currently does, right?
It gets
and,
around
like, there are definitely
bridges.
a few key
This is a
differences.
very notable thing because he gets to play all the bottom decking removal.
That is true. That is a true statement. I will give you that as well.
If Teach is going to improve based on the rest of the ban results, because people are talking about Teach potentially, like I said, because of Black Vortex, a 2-cost event from OP9, being able to fight against Zoro, and then being very strong into the weaker decks, it might be able to like contest it since it can just bottom deck Blackbeard's pieces, which prevents them from sticking in the yard for them to grab back with Kuzan as well. And then your like weenie attackers actually like attack, so it's like a double-edged sword for Blackbeard.
Okay.
Notably,
we'll
Blackbeard
have to
will
cook.
be
We'll
good
have to
against the Rebecca deck, or
Yeah,
against
it's
Rebecca.
it's just so many ideas that I'm like trying to think of like how we're gonna fit this all into a 50 card deck. There are definitely some channels out there that I was like watching some in English, some in Japanese, of like making videos of what if Sokka was unbanned. So maybe we'll have to research into those as well, see what initial
see
ideas
what
some
we can
folks
cook
had.
up.
Yeah, but I'm excited. Now, again, my statement earlier, I just more so meant that like I'm not gonna freak out and say that he's gonna be top tier right off the bat, just because like I said, I think everyone else has tools to put up a fight against him now. So it's I think the onus is on Sokka players to figure out how to combat what leaders are currently good now.
I definitely agree with that. It's going to be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
But last, and honestly, like, not super surprising. Like, it has a lot of potential, but because Nami is banned, they are unbanning Kabaji, the 2-drop that was the bane of people's existence when Nami first came out. There's not very many decks that can abuse this. Funny enough, there is the Zoro Sanji leader.
I was right about to say Blue Green Zoro Sanji stance rise up, because I think this card is insane in Zoro Sanji.
You get to, because it is a 2, since Kabaji himself is a 2-cost, not the Moji that you need to play to complement him. You can just keep looping it, picking it up, and playing it back down with the Zoro Sanji leader effect, and using it to like untap your like actual attackers.
Also, don't forget, Kabaji is a slash character.
That is true. You can find him off of your Perona.
You can find him
I'm
off
not
of
actually sure if they
Perona.
play Perona in that deck, or if they usually play it.
Oh, I most certainly will now.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, it's not the biggest impact on the format, I don't think.
Ooh, I don't know. We'll see.
It's definitely nice to have it back in the card pool. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
I will say, I mean, obviously there's a deck building restriction if you want to play as like an 8-card package between the Mojis and the Kabajis. You might even want to play more Mojis than that, like between, I don't know, the 1-drop Moji that came in OP2, as well as like the big Moji, the 5-drop Moji and the 4-drop Moji from Cross Guild. So
Play the 5/6 2K Moji and Kabaji because it's still Moji. Wait, is it? Does that count?
does that work?
I don't know.
I
Let us know in the comments.
Well, it could, because it's Mojis and brackets. I don't think that works. I'm gonna assume no.
All
But
right.
we'll see.
Asterisk, maybe that one. I'd have to check.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. Like that card has potential. Now, granted, it's not like it has a long shelf life. It's also gonna rotate next year.
maybe in
but
6 months, my statement stands.
yeah, it's 6 months is 6 months for sure. Well, more than 6 months at this point. It's August, so it's gonna be like more like actually it's like 7 or 8 months, right? So because this is effective the 30th, so
yeah, it's about 7 months for us. 7
Yeah.
full months, like 7.5 months.
yeah, depending on when in April they make the rotation. But yeah, I mean, like, still, as far as like blue decks that are looking for a draw engine, it's like you could maybe be there. Now again, like Kabaji's most egregious uses were in Nami, because you could like keep bouncing and looping it.
Yeah, in the deck
So
dedicated.
I'm not sure who else. Yeah, aside from Zoro Sanji, I'm not sure who else can really like make that into an engine, so to speak.
Yeah, it was originally banned like we were saying, because of the Nami leader that is now being banned, since you again didn't really interact with your opponent, removal wasn't nearly as prevalent. So you just went turn 1, play your Moji, and then turn 2 forward, you just went like Kabaji, pick up Kabaji, Kabaji, pick up Kabaji, play Kabaji with things like Overheat when they attacked you, or Brick Fist to just like do as an activate main. And then you just like turbo through your deck that much faster.
Yeah, so like I said before, I'm interested to see what blue decks can like make Kabaji work if they need it at all. Notably, like even Buggy might be able to play it since you're playing with the cross guild Mojis, like I said before. So
potentially, notably, Kabaji is just, or at least this Kabaji in specific is just a Buggy Pirates, so he's not searchable off of all the cross guild cards.
Yeah, but I mean, something cool you could do is like when you go like on your 7 Dawn turn, something along the lines of going leader ability, cheat out Crocodile Mihawk, draw 2, pitch 1, play out your Moji for free. Then your remaining 2 Dawn, play Kabaji, dig deeper,
maybe
something like that.
It'll be
cool.
very interesting to see how he'll slot into that deck. Again, I think the deck that best abuses it right now is probably just Zoro Sanji, since it abuses it through its leader ability. It doesn't have to main deck the cards like Nami did to pick up and play it over and over again. But we'll just have to see what people can cook up with it now that it's off the list for a few months.
Yeah, but let us know in the comments what ideas you guys have for Kabaji. I think there's some spice people can cook with that out there. So do let us know down below. Also with Sakazuki, let me give me some ideas for Sakazuki.
I know this isn't the biggest ban list we've ever had, but it's an exciting one. I'm very excited. It is in effect before Kissimmee and before Nat, so we've got some serious testing to do.
This is definitely one of the most exciting ones for me personally. Because I don't know. I feel like the previous one, where like Jinbei was banned and Ice Age and Moria were banned.
Jinbei.
Yeah. But I think that one was like semi-expected as far as like what decks were gonna be hit. But this one, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like I was not like before. I was kind of half expecting that just OP3 Nami and Blue Purple Luffy were just gonna get hit and that was it. But with these unbans, I'm actually excited to cook. So, but again, do let us know down in the comments what ideas you guys have, because I definitely am looking for some ideas as well. So,
Spice.
Hopefully you guys liked our little yap session. Remember to like and subscribe if you did. Turn on that notification bell so you get notified what other One Piece videos we have coming up. We will continue to have One Piece content. I know I've been making a lot of Gundam. And the honest truth was because we were waiting so long for this ban list that I just didn't feel like it was super, like...
Well, like we knew the ban list was coming, so it's like...
Yeah, we knew it was coming, and it just kept getting delayed, and I just felt it was kind of disingenuous to make any other, like, content at the time, before knowing what was going to happen, so that's kind of where my position was on it. But don't worry, we will have more One Piece content coming soon. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, as always. And we will see you in the next one.
Take it easy.